We're back on. So where was I? Okay, so first what I've done is I went out and bought the lumber, and so I staggered it. I don't know if you could see. So this is a 16-foot trailer. My boards are 10 feet, and all right, I gotta make this quick. So I got customers calling. So bought the lumber, I laid it all out, got my cuts, and just laid it out. So these boards were straight. You can see some of them popping up, like right here. And the reason being is because I didn't anchor them in as soon as I bought them, or as soon as I made my cuts, and then I drilled the holes. I didn't do that. I waited maybe like 2 days, 3 days. So within those 3 days, they warped on me. So I'm gonna see if I can still salvage them by anchoring them in. Now, some of the woods, like right here, my beam sits right there. So like so my beam is about 2 inches. So this one I can anchor in. This one's gonna be hard because it's just barely on. So I gotta figure out where exactly. And I only put one, like mostly in the middle. So once I laid it, before I did my gaps, I took, where was that tool? Anyway, tool like this, okay? Just so I can make sure the head goes all the way in and it's flush. Because if I didn't do that, it could, I take the risk of splitting the wood. And what I'll do is I'll leave a link down below with the tools I've used, or the equipment, as well as the product. So this is a more powerful, obviously, because you got to plug it in. And the other thing too you guys want to be aware of is, if you want more power to your tool, you want a bigger gauge on your electrical cord and shorter distance. So this is a 25-foot 10 gauge, or 12, I think it's 12. Anyway, so I see the beam. That's another reason why I space it. So, and I'm just going to start and just go all the way through and knock it out. Can't tell you how nice it is with the handle. So the other thing too is, maybe you guys can help me out on this, but when you're drilling into metal, there's some metal or some incidents where you want to drill slow. So I'll drill slow on this one. We'll see which one punch holes quicker. So I don't know if you can see, but these chunks are bigger, so it's grabbing more. Let's see if I can, there's a way to turn this thing down. It's not, it's just one speed, where this has multiple speeds. So by going slower too, I'm putting more work on the bit and not the motor. So by putting weight, slowing it down, the bit's actually working more than the tool. So now I figured out my finger adjustment. That did not sound good at all, my friends. I wonder what that was. I could have broken the bit. What I could have done is drilled right on top of an existing hole where some of the bolts were, I couldn't take out, so I had to grind it right off. So I shaved it right off, and I didn't like tap it out. I just said screw it. And when I said screw it, look what happens. I broke a drill. Awesome. So that being said, I got a Charlie mic here to continue on and just come back to it. Because if I'm not 110% confident kind of what I'm doing, what I'll do is I'll stop what I'm doing instead of guessing and learn how to really quick and just go back at it. It's quicker to stop what you're doing and learn than to guess and assume, because when you do that, all you're doing is breaking more tools, more anger that it's not necessary. Alright, I'm not going to have you guys watch me do all this. Actually, I'll drill the rest later so I can finish and show you what I'm doing. Now what I'm doing is I'm pre-drilling the holes. The reason why is because these aren't strong enough to go through the wood and through the beam or the metal. And it's, see that piece laying around? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm drilling into. I mean, it's not that thick, but when you have wood on top of it, and this thing right here, the self-tapping screw is supposed to penetrate the wood, and that's pretty difficult for the head. Here's the other thing. So what you're doing is you're taking this. So here's what it looks like about the little notch in the wood. Okay, this is what it is with the notch in the wood. So that's your distance right there. So that's 2 inches. The other thing you want to be cognizant of is the thickness of your drill head, because I don't want this bigger than this. So for me, I had to do it and it took me a while to find the right screw for I just tapped it in. So once this is a 5/16. So this is not an impact. So I still got to go back with a socket and a ratchet to snug them in. You can see how they're just barely above the wood line.